Napa Wava.
Narfa Yesua. What?
Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, and I am doing a Create a Sim video for Parenthood. Oh my gosh, this is actually happening. Thank you, EA, for once again providing me a review copy. So for this game pack, I'm bringing back a few more of what I consider to be my legacy characters. Sims that I originally made in The Sims 3 that I'm remaking for The Sims 4. So this time I am remaking Taylor, Stacy, and Becky from my Sims 3 Roaring Heights and All-Stars Let's Plays. So their story does continue a little bit after All-Stars. Becky is now a toddler, and Taylor and Stacy are the same age as before. Because, yeah, I don't feel like letting them become elders. They're two of my favorite Sims ever, and it was fun remaking both of them, although Stacy was super hard to remake for me. Like, I spent almost an hour on her alone because, while I think in the end I did get her down pretty well, it was mostly the clothes where I wanted to pick something that was just right, that definitely suited her, because there's not really a dress in the game yet that's quite like what she wore during Roaring Heights. And I am very grateful, actually, that we have bowling night stuff, because one of the hairstyles in that pack, minus the clip being in it, looks exactly like the hair that she had in The Sims 3. So, yeah, despite that stuff pack not being my favorite, it definitely came through for me. So that's actually why I have that on her first outfit, even though this is supposed to be about Parenthood. But I did give her one of the Parenthood hairs for some of her other outfits. So basically this first outfit that you're going to see once I'm done with her face and her makeup, it's kind of more reminiscent of what she would have worn in The Sims 3. And then she has kind of like a more Parenthood outfit, and then her third outfit is kind of more of a throwback to her punk rocker days before her and Taylor travel back in time, because if you haven't been following their story in my Sim universe so far, they started out in Roaring Heights, and it's kind of piggybacked off of my Into the Future Let's Play a little bit, because I had a few Sims travel into the future to Oasis Landing, but they left their time-traveling machine behind, and oh, yeah, right here I kind of had to like take him in and be like, what the heck is this? Because I was just like, oh my goodness, like, I did not expect more bear outfits. They are really spoiling Tazreen with all these bear outfits, oh my goodness. But yeah, it's like Care Bears in this game pack, I guess. But anyways, back to my story, or rather, Taylor and Stacy's story, how it began. So, they found the time-traveling device left behind in the park, and Taylor was like, yeah, I think we should leave that alone, but Stacy's curiosity was really getting to her. So they ended up touching the machine, and instead of traveling to the future, the machine malfunctioned, and they ended up in the past, the Roaring 20s in Roaring Heights. So in my fiction, Roaring Heights wasn't just a town that looks like it was out of the 20s. It literally is the 20s. So they just ended up enjoying life in the 20s. It was a bit of an adjustment for them at first, but they ended up really getting into it, and they even got new outfits that that made them fit in a bit more. And that ended up becoming one of my favorite Let's Plays ever. It was supposed to be like a really short series, like 13 parts or less. It ended up going almost 30 because I think it helped a lot that that was the last world to come out for The Sims 3, because there was already like so much content that came out beforehand, so there was like a lot more that I had to work with. And yeah, that was pretty cool. I even like made a custom dive lot for Roaring Heights and some other cool stuff. I remember in the first or second episode, I even like went surfing with Stacy. That was really fun. I found old pictures of it the other day as I was looking for reference pictures to actually make these Sims with. And I was like, oh yeah, that was super fun. But yeah, now I've moved on to her second outfit. I hope you like the first outfit. I really like that one a lot, because even if it's not exactly like what she wore in Roaring Heights, I still really like it. I just really like that bowling night outfit too, so yep. Once again, that stuff pack really came in handy. And I was really trying to make this top work with her, but I don't know, it just felt kind of in the end. I don't know. I'm not sure if I would agree with that, but I did end up going with something else. I thought, oh yeah, like the t-shirt wrapped around the pants, that would probably be something Stacy would wear, since she is a rocker at heart. She's very much like a punk rocker. I was like, yeah, for sure, it would definitely make sense. And yeah, there's like, you know, those pink pants in the bottom row there, like, they really remind me of Pants from Into the Future. There was someone who tweeted me saying that too, and I was like, oh yeah, it actually does, and I really like those pants in The Sims 3. I didn't use them on any of the Sims in this video, but yeah, definitely for future Sims, gotta use those pants. I guess the good thing about Stacy having taken so long to make is that I have lots of room to ramble on. So I'll talk a bit more about what's happened with Taylor and Stacy's story. So they lived out more of their life in Roaring Heights, and near the end of the Let's Play, Stacy got pregnant. But then, shortly after that, there's basically this organization in my fiction as well called the Future Protection Agency, or the FPA for short. And they kind of monitor time and make sure history doesn't like get thrown out of whack and things like that. And well, they noticed that yeah, two Sims traveled back in time when they shouldn't have, and there's kind of like this little branch of the Future Protection Agency that went after them. I actually did do a current household video on them where they actually like lived on this submarine houseboat, and it was pretty cool looking. And yeah, they tracked them down and they brought them back to the present day. And then after that, Taylor and Stacy decided they needed a fresh start after coming back to the present. So they ended up moving to Beach City, which lended to them being in my Sims 3 All-Stars Let's Play. And that Let's Play was not just about them though, because the reason why it was called All-Stars was because it was kind of a gathering of sorts of all of my Let's Play families from The Sims 3, minus the ones from the Midnight Sun Challenge, because, well, they were kind of like off on their own island. Not a story too dissimilar from Oliver Queen, the Green Arrow being on Lian Yu for a few years, so they wouldn't have really fit into the All-Stars Let's Play. But all the other ones from my previous Sims 3 Let's Plays made a comeback, and they all had their own reasons for moving to Beach City. And then at the end of that series, that's when The Sims 4 was coming out, and I was thinking, okay, so I had this plan for a while that The Sims is a game that's on our computers, so that's how I act out my Sims' stories, is that their stories are not real life. It is for them, but for us it's not. It is within their computers. If you've ever watched the animated series called Reboot, you have a good idea of where I'm going with this. So, The Sims 4 is coming out, so that meant that a system upgrade was about to drop on top of The Sims 3. So that's why I haven't done any Sims 3 Let's Plays since The Sims 4 came out, because The Sims 4 in my fiction is literally meant to replace The Sims 3 and upgrade it. So there's kind of like this big earthquake that happened, this flash of light that happened from my Sims perspective. And then suddenly, my Sims just ended up in this new version of Sim Earth. Yeah, I actually call it Sim Earth in a bit of a nod to the actual Maxis game called Sim Earth. I've never played it, but I thought, oh, well, it's appropriate to call it Sim Earth because it's Sims living on a version of Earth. But anyways, yeah, all my Sims ended up just waking up in this brand new world that suddenly looks way more colorful than what they were used to, and some new things happening, some new locations, but some things being taken away as well, namely like pets, weather, toddlers, etc. You already all know that by now, I'm sure, because everyone loves, well, not everyone, but some people really love just going around complaining about what The Sims 4 is missing. So I kind of make fun of that yeah, The Sims 4, it added some fresh new things, but also took away some things as per usual, where like, yeah, we never get pets and seasons in the base game. But I have this twist where my Sims, who have returned from The Sims 3, they remember everything that they've done in The Sims 3, and also remember all the things that existed, so they know what like pets and seasons and weather and toddlers are. But the Sims that I have only created in The Sims 4 and did not have the opportunity to live out their lives in The Sims 3, they don't know what those things are. So, as those things come back, some of my legacy Sims have to explain to the new Sims, okay, like, these are cats, these are dogs, we own them as pets. Yes, the concept of pets, we can have pets, yes, and they love us, or dogs do, but with cats, sometimes it's iffy because cats are very independent creatures most of the time, except for when they want attention or they want to be fed. And oh wow, I've just been talking so much I didn't even realize I've moved on to Taylor. Wow. I really get into my ramblings sometimes, as you know, but yeah, so I'll talk about Taylor for a little bit, and I'm really happy with how Taylor turned out. Like, I feel like he looks like 99% exactly like how he looked in The Sims 3, and I'm really happy with that, because like even the sweater vest that I'll pick out for him, it looks pretty much exactly like the one he wore during Roaring Heights, so that's really awesome how that turned out. It was definitely a lot easier to make Taylor than Stacy, for sure, for sure. I guess in general it is a little bit easier to make male Sims, but yeah, I'm really satisfied with how Taylor turned out, so you'll probably hear me in my Let's Play every now and again say like, oh my gosh, like I just love how closely accurate he looks to Sims 3 version. But yeah, it is kind of a crazy universe I have going on with my Sims Let's Plays. I really wanted to bring something different to the table when I started doing this about 4 years ago, and I am inspired by comic books a lot. Like, not the comics themselves, because, well, I've only started reading comics recently and I haven't had much time to read, but I have started reading the Green Arrow Rebirth comic, and there's still like I think I did get the Supergirl Rebirth, and there was one more Rebirth comic I got. It might have been The Flash, or was it someone else? I can't remember. But I know Supergirl was one of them for sure, because I wanted to see how they would handle her character. But yeah, I'm really inspired, especially by like the movies and TV shows. That's actually what's gotten me into comics more. So it is kind of an odd thing. Like, I hear so many people saying like, oh yeah, I grew up with this comic book character or that one, and reading issue number whatever, but with me, not so much. Like, I did read comics, but it was more humor ones, like Garfield and Calvin and Hobbes. I wasn't really into the superhero stuff that much as a kid. I don't know why, but it wasn't a thing back then. It wasn't until I was a teenager that's when I started watching like the first Iron Man movie, and then that was kind of my segue into it all. And I just really love how they craft all of these stories individually, but then they also intertwine them as well. And then it usually all comes to a head when they do like the Avengers movies or Justice League movies. and it's really fun to see all that come together on screen for sure. So now I'm just finishing up Taylor here. So neat thing I got to do was give him the exact same aspiration that he had in The Sims 3 to become a best-selling author. And I did one little interesting change with his traits because there's no easily impressed trait in The Sims 4. He did have that in The Sims 3, so I decided, okay, so he's a parent now, so he will maybe have a little change of heart, I guess. So I made him a perfectionist instead. And now we're moving on to Becky. So since she was still a baby in the All-Stars Let's Play, I have pretty much a clean slate here. I could just do whatever I want. So I was just like, okay, so does this child look like it would be a child of Taylor and Stacy? Yes, okay, we're good. So then I was just pretty much free to choose whatever I want, including the clothes. And I ended up giving her 2 outfits, one that is from Parenthood and then one that is from custom content. I am a bit surprised there's not very much at all that's new for toddlers in this game pack, but it does seem like the bulk of the content is focused on children and teenagers. But I think I'll wrap up my commentary now, as we are getting pretty close to the end, and wow, I can't believe I actually talked for pretty much the whole length of this process of me creating all 3 of these Sims. Just wow. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed watching them being remade as much as I enjoyed making them. It's always fun bringing back characters from The Sims 3, even if it can be a little bit daunting at times, trying to just capture the essence of what they were originally like in the previous game. But so far, it's always turned out really well, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, enjoy the rest of this video, like the turnarounds and the pictures. I will talk to you all later, and have a great day! Thanks for watching!